What's up, everybody? It's your boy Black Thought back at it again with another video. Man, I'm energized up, bro. I'm good. This video about to be good as hell. Y'all gotta stick around for this one. It's another installment of crazy slave escape stories. This one is all about Robert Smalls. Man, I'm tired. If you have not heard about this dude, check his story out. So as I said, this one is about Robert Smalls, bro. This man's story is freaking insane. Like, if you thought the last one was good, this one about to be fire. So, let me hit you with it. See, Robert Smalls was born a house slave in Beaufort, South Carolina. And this is important for a specific reason that you'll find out at the end of the video, because it's at the end of his life that this comes back into play. So, make sure you stick around. But anyways, so, as I said, he was born a house slave, Beaufort, South Carolina. His master's family, the McKee family, moves up to North Carolina, Charleston, North Carolina, around the age of 12. So when he's 12, he gets contracted to work on down at the docks, at the harbor, as a rigger and eventually a slave sailor. Whole time while he working, you know what I'm saying, he see this fine little mama who was a slave hotel maid. Yes, I said that right. Slave hotel maid. He marries her. Her name was Hannah Jones. Now it's Hannah Smalls, but you know what I mean. And she has a kid at the time, and then he eventually gives her another kid, another daughter, and another son. Sad thing about the son is that the son eventually dies of smallpox, but around the time of like 1857, 1858, 59, he starts trying to buy his family's freedom. His kids and his wife. Sadly, every time he tries, it doesn't work. Anyways, so lucky for him though, the Civil War is coming up. This is where it gets crazy. See, first and foremost, he ends up working for the Confederacy. I didn't know this was a thing. Like, when I say working, I mean like he worked on one of their ships. I'm not saying he got paid or not because I don't know for sure, but he worked on one of their ships as a sailor and as a hand, an extra hands. And he worked on this ship. It's called the Planter. He worked on the Planter for months and months and months and months. The whole time he's working on the Planter, he's analyzing. He's figuring out how to navigate the ship. He's figuring out how to do the sails and all of that good stuff. Everything. The hand signs he needs to know to pass checkpoints, where the checkpoints are, all of that. He's figuring that out. He learning. He watching. All he doing now, he waiting for his time. He waited for his opportunity. Eventually, the crew of the Planter takes an unauthorized stop at the port in Charleston, North Carolina, because they were tired, something about resting. So as they're tired and resting in the little hotel or whatever, whatnot, our boy Smalls, he said, let me drive the boat. He goes, sneaks onto the boat, steals it, goes around the corner, picks up his homies, I think like 8 of his homies, and then like 5 of his homies girls, plus his girl, and then like 3 of their kids, his 2 kids, and then 1 other kid, right? So anyways, he gets them, and they start sailing. And lucky for them, they ain't got, like, the Confederate soldiers didn't have like phones or anything like that. There was no, hey man, you seen the ship? Ain't none of that. So they had a ample opportunity. All they had to do was pass 5 checkpoints. Homeboy Smalls, he takes the clothes of the captain's hat, all of that, and he gone. Him and his crew, they get to checkpoint 1. Hand sign, go through. Checkpoint 2, hand sign, go through. Checkpoint 3, hand sign to get to the checkpoint, boom. So on, so on, so on. They eventually pass the 5th one. Now, they in open waters. They safe, they scot-free, almost. They make their way to the Union ships, to the Union blockade. And when they get to the Union blockade, I don't know if you know anything about war, but when you see enemy ships, it's time to shoot. It's bang, bang, let's go. So the Union blockade, they start getting their guns ready, but our boy Smalls is smart. He stole a sheet, a white sheet, and he started waving that sucker. We surrender! And then boom, the Union meets up with him on the waters. They're like, yo, what's up? And Robert Smalls' first words, good morning, sir. I got some of them old U.S. guns for you. And he gives him the ship, the U.S. Navy. He gives that captain the ship. And then the captain says, yo, bro, there are guns, there are trade routes, there are codes, there's all kinds of good info on the ship. So they take all that, they take the Planter, and they give our boy Robert Smalls, Congress gives him a $1,500 prize for doing what he did. Now, his story blows up. I mean, Everybody hears about this and everybody's mind blown. They're like, what? You mean to tell me a former slave freaking stole a ship, picked up his family, then dipped? Bars. But anyways, yeah, he really did. It's crazy. Everyone's so mind blown by it. They're like, man, I didn't even know they still got on boats. Guess what they do? The Army. So you would think they like there should be some punchline where they pull out they pull out the joke to where they sabotage us again, but they don't do that to him yet. In fact, they refigured the planter ship, made it ready for the Union fleet, and then made Robert Smalls the captain of that ship. And then it gets even better. As captain of the planter, guess what he runs all his missions? In North Carolina, Charleston, the same place he was enslaved. He's running missions. I think he ran like some, I can't even remember. He ran a bunch of missions in Charleston, North Carolina, in and around that area. And then eventually, obviously, the North wins the war. The Union wins. Robert Smalls was like, hey, we won. Here's where that first thing that I told you, where the Beaufort, South Carolina thing comes in handy. See, Robert Smalls moves back to Beaufort, South Carolina. And guess whose land and house he bought? The same land and house of his former masters. And then you know what? His former master's family, since they're all broken and destitute and whatnot because of the war, he actually invites some of that family, the McKee family, to come live on the land and in the house. Something about black people, man. We just so forgiving. That is the story of Robert Smalls. Oh man, his story is insane. If you like the story, please let me know in the comments. Please share the video. Please like all of that stuff. Subscribe. You already know what time it is. I got another one for y'all next week. Peace.